Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 305. Right?
You got it.
Yes.
Sure.
305.
Okay, yes.
Well, yeah, what's the dog man say?
It's 305.
It's a 305.
Yeah, that's it.
I forgot, man.
It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken. Of course, and as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys for being here. And I got to say a big thank you to my boy Chris McCracken for leaving some duct tape at the Walmart that I could go get and use for this week.
Not much.
Wrap it up, Gabe. Wrap it up.
Enough.
That's right.
I know I had to get an off-brand, but
it's the Dutch Duke tape. That's the off-brand you got. It's from the Netherlands. It's very rare.
It's actually duct tape.
yeah, no, it's the actual duct tape that I had to buy for sure. Mm-hmm. It's the clear stuff though, so I don't know if it's actually holding or not.
Scotch Duke tape.
Scotch Duke tape or packing tape.
Oh my gosh.
Let's flip this, Gabe. You're up first.
Oh snap!
That way, in case your internet goes out, at least we get your update.
Yeah, go for it. I like that idea. That's good. That's sound logic right there.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying.
No, I gotta keep feeding these hamsters in this wheel over here.
Poor guy, man. Tell us the situation, because it sounded like you were like stressing earlier, like, guys, I don't know how we're gonna do this, and it's all coming together.
I was.
Look, we're like 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
We're good so far. It's good.
I know, right? Thank you guys for listening, man. 305 in the books.
Yep.
Well, okay. So, I am at the FCA Toby Mac golf camp in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And this is not my first time doing actually the podcast from here. I've done the podcast every year from here because this is our 8th year at golf camp. But this is the first year that we've shown up and there's been the whole internet is down for the whole golf resort.
Wow.
Or whatever you call it.
Was there a storm?
No, they're trying to get it fixed. They said something about the switcher that they have that controls the whole place. They no longer make, so they're waiting on Spectrum to come out and do something or other.
Oh, wow.
Man. So they've literally been down to our lodge probably, if I'm not exaggerating, because I tend to exaggerate, I think they've been here 8 times trying to fix the internet in the 2 days we've been here.
Wow.
Even so much so that today there was a guy like walking on the roof, and we were like, "Whoa, what is that?" And we went outside, and there's a guy walking on the roof, and he's like dealing with the antennas on top of the house.
Wow.
To try to get it to work, because people pay good money to come here, and then you forget how much you depend on internet. You know what I mean? Until it's jacked out from under you like a rug. So we're trying to. I told these guys, I was like, listen, I can skip this week because their internet's not going to be working, or we could get on like a 3-way phone call and try to make that work. But like phones are just, there's a reason we stopped doing that, because that's how we used to do the show in the early days of MTTG. Me and Tim would all get on the phone together. But the delay, and it just got so, for the editor, it's just so much cleanup. So I don't know if this week's actually going to be better. But I found a small corner of this house where I get 2 bars of LTE. Everywhere else in this place, I get like 3 bars of 3G. And so it's been like, I haven't been able to barely check emails, and and it's when the work week starts, on Monday, the emails start flying around and you're like, can't get back to people. And I couldn't thank you, Chris, again, because he did the question of the week this week, putting it up on Twitter and everything like that. Because I couldn't even upload anything. Every time I tried to do a speed test to send it to these guys, it was like, we can't. There's no speed. There's just that. And so the one time it did work, I think my latency was like 161. The download was 2.4, but the up just stayed at 0 the whole time. And then like ticked up to like something stupid. So
wow.
Yes. So I'm
Nice.
broadcasting internet from my phone onto my laptop so I could get my stories and Discord and try to do it all at the same time and record and stuff like that. So whew, it is a situation.
The struggle bus is real, brother. That's all good though, man.
The
I'm
struggle
glad.
bus is very real.
It's good to hear from you.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be talking with you guys. So yeah, that's all we've been doing, man. We've been here since Sunday. We had a pretty busy weekend. I don't remember where we were, but we traveled. Oh, we went to Life Fest where I got to see Lim.
Yeah, that's right. You
And
got to see
Bradley
Lim.
C. That was a great day. So that was really fun. And then we went somewhere else and did a show, and then we came home for just a couple hours on Saturday. Toby shot a music video for his new song, Everything, that drops on Wednesday, or dropped on Wednesday once you're hearing this. It's
nice.
a great song. We're super excited to start playing it. And so he shot a video for that. And then now we're at golf camp. So we've been here since Sunday. We'll be here till Thursday and then fly home. And then we have like the week off. So it's nice to have some time off.
Nice.
That's great, man.
Yeah, thank you. Gaming wise, I put a poll up on Twitter and I was like, what game should I play? Not knowing that I wasn't going to have an internet. And it was a resounding Horizon Zero Dawn, which has worked out nice because Horizon doesn't need internet to play. However, the days haven't gone the way I thought they would, because usually we're just, chilling, like not doing anything. But we had like rental car things we had to do, and sound check happened at a little different time, so I didn't get any gaming in the first 2 days we were here. And then today I went to play Horizon and noticed that I had deleted it off my PlayStation.
No.
And that junk takes forever to reinstall. I reinstalled it. And so while I was reinstalling it, I was like, well, I've got to get some gaming in. I was like, I brought my PlayStation. I want to just sit down. Everybody's gone. Some guys went golfing. Toby's busy all day with his buddies here. And so I beat Call of Duty World War II, the campaign.
Hey.
Oh, nice. How'd you like it?
There you go.
I really liked it. So that's, I think, game 6 out of 7
Yeah,
for
buddy.
my resolution this year.
Had you started it yet?
Yeah, I had actually played a couple chapters at home earlier this year, and I thought this was a good time to sit down and finish it up. I didn't know I wasn't close to the end. I probably had, 5-6 chapters left to go.
Okay.
And so I did that. I thought it was really good. It's hard to tell until you get to some dialogue that game's ramping, because every chapter has a ramp.
Yeah, of course.
You're like, oh gosh, you're just stressed out, and there's a million enemies all over. But it was really good. I was glad to play that. I was glad to finish it. It's the first Call of Duty campaign I think I've beaten in, maybe 4 Call of Duties.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that was the first one that I had played through since Black Ops, all the way.
Yeah, I want to say that's the same. Yeah.
How does it compare? I mean, is the campaign like really solid? Is it your favorite, or it's just kind of another campaign?
You know what? To me, they all kind of feel the same. I remember Chris was saying that Advanced or Infinite Warfare, one of those people were saying the campaign was really good, but I never played any of those.
Ah, there you go.
So, but I liked this one. Obviously, the set pieces are amazing. And it was kind of fun. I've done so much of the multiplayer, so it was fun kind of seeing those levels in the campaign. Or
nice.
bits and pieces of those levels, like, oh, that's where they got this, or oh, that's what this one's named after.
Right.
So that was good. The voice acting is always so good. The sound effects of the guns and reloading and the tanks, they just do it so right. And if you watch some behind the scenes stuff, they get a bunch of guns and go in a soundstage and shoot them off, and you're like, oh, you can tell that they put their all into the sound effects of that game. So
yeah.
And it was one of those ones where, like, as I was beating it, some people were kind of milling about, and they just like slowly sat down, and I unplugged my headphones so the sound would come out of the TV, and they like watched the ending with me, and so that was cool.
Nice.
I love when games
that's
do
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah.
It's a great campaign to just watch, because it's like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, one of the guys came in. He goes, "Is this a game?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks incredible." And so it was really funny. The joke he actually told was he walked in because there's like a flashback where you're back in Texas and you're talking to somebody, and he goes, is this a game? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, I thought you were watching Brokeback Mountain. I was like, yeah, just me in here by myself with headphones on watching Brokeback Mountain.
Yep. As you do at golf camp in North Carolina.
Yeah, for the 8th time this year.
Exactly.
So it was but what's funny is he wasn't joking.
Right,
so
right.
It was just funny that that number one, he would think that, and number two, it's just amazing that the game looks so good that for a split second he thought it was real people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then another guy walked in and he was like, wait, is that CG? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, how do they do that? And I was like, well, it's a big to-do, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, stopped them in their tracks.
That's awesome. I love that, man. I love when games do that.
Love that.
Yeah. So got a couple voiceover jobs while I was out here, so that's nice that I'll get to go home and do those. Love doing that still.
Wait. Can you do it in the new shed?
No, well, I have to do it right when I get home.
Oh,
but Jenny did make it very clear today on the phone that she's ready for me to go ahead and move into the shed.
Nice.
Hilarious.
So since I already have the floor and the baseboards down, she was like, okay, when you get home, we need to paint the baseboards and we need to get your stuff out there. And I was like, all right.
just go and go. That's hilarious.
The answer is
that's a girl with plans right there.
Yeah, oh, she got plenty of plans. She got that honeydew list cranked up for you.
That is a mile long, I'm sure, brother. A mile long.
Oh yeah. That's already like I got to go get the brakes checked and some lights on the dash, and one of the doors is opening weird on the van, and so I got all kind of stuff to get home to. So, but it'll be good, man. I'm missing my wifey and been catching up with the kids on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
She's been like a superwoman. She took him to the museum today. I was like,
oh wow,
why
I know. I was like,
would you
holy
take
cow.
3 children to a museum? But she said they acted really good. She said the kids area was awesome. And so
nice.
My wife is superwoman.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. She's
Exactly.
superwoman for sure.
Exactly.
So that's it for me. Christopher.
Yes.
What's going on with you, man?
Man, I have just been flying all over the place. So we finished out the vacation. Friday was our last day out in Hilton Head. Actually, on Friday is the one day that we kind of left Hilton Head area and we went to Savannah, Georgia, which is how I always feel like I have to say it whenever I hear that
You gotta put that stink on it, man. Definitely.
Yeah, so we went there and spent most of the day there, and then went back over to Hilton Head, had dinner, and at one of the seafood places that we had already eaten at once, but it was that good that we wanted to give it another shot. And I take that back. So we went to this area where they have 3 restaurants, seafood places right in a row. And what we did is we just put our name in on all of them. And they were all like an hour and a half to 2 hours or whatever. We're like, just whichever one comes up first, that's the one we're going to go to. So one night we went to one, and this night we did the same thing. We put our name on all of them, and it was actually a new one that we hadn't gone to. So I let me correct myself. But seafood was amazing, as you might expect, being right there in the ocean. It was really good. So it did not disappoint at all. And then we spent Saturday and Sunday driving home because we did the same thing where we went ahead and stayed overnight on Saturday and I was really considering like just pushing through, but we decided not to. Plus our friends were following us and they were like, hey, if you want to keep going, we get it, but we're definitely stopping. And I'm like,
how did your car hold up?
I mean, it made it a few times.
But it started up okay, or did you have to finagle it?
No, I mean, it's got issues. So it had an issue where it was struggling to start a little bit just in general. After the last time that we, air quotes here, had it fixed, it started acting worse. But it was it always would start. Then it started getting to where like it was struggling even further than that. It seems like, and I don't, all the research I did seems to point to it possibly being the fuel pump or something related in there. But the issue happens, it's a bigger issue when the car's been running. So like if we've been driving for 6 hours and then we got to pull over and get gas or however long it is, and we got to stop and get gas, we turn off the car, and because it had been real hot and it hadn't been sitting a while, that's when it has the biggest struggle to restart.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. I thought it would be cold.
Exactly. That's what I would have expected too. But when it's been sitting for like a couple of hours and it's nice and cold, it tends to start. It still struggles to start, but it does the way that I expect it to. If that makes any sense.
There you go.
So I don't know. I'm going to be taking into the shop, if not this week, sometime during the week. I'll go over the weekend and just have it looked at and see. What is it? Don't do anything. Tell me what you want to charge me, and then I'll tell you if I want you to do it.
Yeah. You're like, can you just make this into a Tesla?
Yep.
Please, and I just get
Right.
pick up a Tesla.
Can you just pull this engine and put a battery? Like maybe get one from Anchor. I hear they're making good batteries. Put one in there.
Just pull the dash out, put an iPad as the dashboard, and then call it a Tesla.
Yeah, that's all we need, right? That's all we got to do.
Just make sure you don't get the batteries from Samsung, please.
Yeah. I don't want this thing exploding. I don't need any more trouble.
Exactly.
But outside of that, we made it home, and so everything's fine. Ever since I got home, though, like both Stacy and I are just swamped at work because being gone for a week is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we both have people on our teams that are like handling stuff, it's not like they've been lazy or anything. But it's just when you remove one person that's very productive from the team, and everybody else got to take on more. It was nice to come to help relieve some of the pressure. So we've just been working like crazy the last couple of days. We are gearing up to do another bout of the whole 30. I think we start tomorrow. Stacy came home today, and her and I we just cooked a bunch of different stuff. So we have all these pre-made meals and stuff to help keep the temptations away from like, I'm just going to open this bag of chips that shouldn't even be in my house at the moment. So we've got a lot of fruit and a lot of, vegetables and all this kind of stuff.
Sounds gross.
So all that's good. Yeah.
Sounds horrible. Sounds absolutely horrible.
I'm actually weirdly enough, I'm actually kind of looking really forward to it.
No, of course, man.
Just to see what happens, because the last time I did, I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. And it really wasn't that bad. So I'm like, now that I'm prepared for it, I feel like it's probably going to be fine. But, we'll see.
There you go.
I will report back next week.
Please do, sir.
Very nice.
On the gaming front, I played a little bit of H1Z1 with Kale and Katie and Stacy last night. And then I jumped into Overwatch with some of the people from the community for a couple of matches, and then I had to bounce out, and I haven't really played anything else. The one thing that I will say is that second half of the vacation, the NES Classic and the SNES Classic were still big hits. Everybody liked playing those things.
Yay!
So that was really fun. Got to jump into the Punch Out. I got to play some more of that. I still haven't beat it yet, but that was easily my favorite. I'm so happy to have Punch Out on there. I think that's my favorite NES game. I like the music. I like the way it plays. I just like everything about it. So
I agree.
But yeah, other than that, that's the only kind of gaming I've been doing. There's a few games here and there on that whenever the kids weren't absconding it when we were on vacation.
Right.
And then the little bit that I got to play last night, and that's pretty much been it.
There you go.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Edward.
Yeah.
What's been going on with you, man?
You know what? Kind of the same thing as usual. A little bit of work and a lot of bit of gaming, and it's been another.
Gosh,
nice
what
week.
a life!
I know, right?
I'm telling you, it's really nice just because I usually wake up a little bit before Sarah does, usually by a few hours. So by the time she gets up, pretty much all my work for the day is finished.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love that.
It's kind of cool, but at the same time, in her eyes, as soon as she wakes up, it's like, oh, now he's going.
You
to
don't
game.
do anything.
Yeah,
Right.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
But it's been nice. We mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Hue came out on Prime for Twitch users.
Yeah,
if
you mentioned
have
that last
Prime
week.
Yes.
Last week. And so I had Hue on the brain, and I thought, you know what? I might want to play Hue again.
Oh, no.
And I sat down, and thank you, Brian Whetstone, for being my... I get tunnel vision when I play these games sometimes, and sometimes the answer is so obvious I just don't even see it. And Brian Whetstone tuned in and watched me play live and helped me out, so big thanks to Brian. We made it all the way through Hue, all over again, and I hate that game more than I remember hating it.
Really?
I could have told you that.
It's just really, at some parts, you have to switch colors so fast, and it's not super easy to do, and I got frustrated a few times, so I'm glad that Brian was there to kind of keep me tethered, if you will.
I tell you what, I got the notification that Ed was streaming Hue, and I jumped on there, and I was like, no freaking way.
You're like, what?
What are you doing to yourself?
Ed was like, yes way.
That was so much fun.
I couldn't believe it.
The Tapmans came over Friday night, and we played a VR game called Drunken Bar Fight.
Nice.
That looked crazy.
I love that.
That was, we had my niece who is 10 years old playing it. She's adopted from Costa Rica. So she not only talks like a 10-year-old, she talks like a 10-year-old with an accent, and it's so cute. And
that's so cute.
That's amazing.
We recorded it, and because the eye was using itself for the VR mode, we couldn't stream that part, so you could just see the screen itself. But it's so funny if you go back and watch, you can hear her just panting as she's hitting people and throwing darts in people's butts, and just
sounds awesome.
And then she'll throw a bunch of punches, and you'll just hear, the next one is for your eye.
Oh my god,
that's amazing.
Come on, you big fat cow.
I had so much fun watching you guys play that game. Watching you guys play that, I was like that. I mean, not only does the title, it's so perfect for the game, but it also seems like the people that made it were drunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. It was a lot more fun than I expected, and it was a pretty cheap game, and so it was definitely worth it.
So are you just fighting like AI characters, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. You go up and pretty much anything that you see can be used as a weapon to either throw or hit. So anything from a stool to a deer head up on the wall.
So
okay, I gotta buy this.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely incredible.
And after you defeat a person, you can pick them up and use them as a weapon as well. And it's just craziness.
So great.
So much fun.
So great.
That is great.
It was funny today, the Orkin man came in and he was inside spraying and just kind of checking around and making sure things were working the way they should. And Sarah was in her workout room, and she was getting ready to film. And he's like, "Oh, you got like a little studio in here, huh?" And she said, "Yeah, well, we work from home, and this is, I do the online coaching and what have you." And he said, "Oh, well, you ever heard of these guys that they just sit at home and play video games all day, and they're making hundreds of thousands?" And he's like, "They're not even working." And I'm like, "You have no idea. That's my dream." So,
yeah, exactly.
That would definitely
we're
be
switching to Terminix.
That's right.
And trust me, sir, if you could make that much money playing video games, you'd be doing it too.
That's right.
Exactly.
No more bugs for you, sir. No more bugs for
That's
you.
right.
So
I just got a kick out of that.
Gosh.
And I had just finished streaming like 20 minutes before he showed up, so I kind of wished I was still in the middle of it.
Oh, I know. Wouldn't it be great if like he walked in on you on the floor like playing video games, and he's like, "Oh,
I love that."
On the floor with his freaking PlayStation helmet on.
That's
right.
That's exactly right. The hat, as he likes to call it.
What's that? A PlayStation helmet?
VR hat.
We like Chris mentioned, I've played a lot of Overwatch this week, and just having so much fun. And Patrick Novosel is one of the guys who kind of came on as a beginner pretty recently, really. And we've been kind of walking him through. And this week, I got to witness Patrick get a team kill all by himself with a Reaper ult.
Ooh,
I've
wow.
never seen that before. It was amazing. So congratulations.
Die.
Die. Josh Stapleton reminded me that Danger Zone 2 came out, and
what is that?
I was hesitant. It was kind of the burnout crash mode that came out. The first one came out, I don't remember when it was, but I was very disappointed because the first one was entirely set in the parking garage.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. So the sequel came out. And I thought, well, you know what? I've got super low expectations. I might as well play it because I'll enjoy it.
Of course.
I was still let down.
Oh, no.
Wah, wah, wah.
What did they do this
And
time?
it's outside.
No.
Okay. It's like they said, "Oh, you don't like being stuck in a garage, huh? Well, how about we set the courses outside, but instead of the focus being on the crashing part, you have to drive for 5,000 miles to get to the crash first."
Oh,
Come on now.
what?
And if you touch the guardrail on the way there, crash, start over again.
oh,
It was so
Wait.
annoying.
Wait.
Yeah.
oh,
Continue.
How you make two bad games back to? Oh, come on, man.
I know.
This is ridiculous.
The
Okay, so
driving
wait.
is horrible.
Are they at least in different settings?
They did put mountains in one part.
Oh, good for them.
But at one point,
gosh.
I'm like, so instead of the same parking garage, we're going to just do the same intersection over and over again? So
Is that what it was, the same intersection?
It felt maybe like 3 to 5 different intersections.
Ah.
Maybe they didn't play the first game. Maybe they didn't play the game that they were copying.
Trolling you.
Trolled me big time. So I played all the way through it.
Of course you
in
did.
an hour and 40 minutes, I had finished the game.
That's in an hour and a half?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Now,
I'd have asked for my money back. That's under the time limit, right? Don't you have 2 hours before you
Yeah,
start a game?
exactly. Yep, give me my
you
money
can go
back.
back and try to get gold medals on the course. I was so frustrated. I was like, just get, and you can't go to the next course unless you medal. And so some of these driving ones they put you in, it's more driving than it is crashing this time around. And so mad.
No,
so it was only
thank you.
$20, and I was still mad.
Ed was so mad he wouldn't start up the Atari.
That's right. He went out and got a Switch.
I was so mad. I went out and threw rocks at actual cars driving by.
That's awesome.
Oh, jeez.
I picked up
Lordy.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 that Sarah and I had played through together, but the completionist in me wanted to start over again and kind of get everything. And I forgot they dig so deep in these Marvel things that there are people, I have no idea who half these characters are. Like here's Stingray.
Really?
And Captain Marvel I'd heard of, but then here's Ms. Marvel. And
Yeah,
wow.
two different people.
you know, here's a big dog with a wrench on its head, and here's this thing, and it was. I honestly don't know. I assume they're all Marvel characters.
They're making
but as
it
far
all
as
up.
I know,
Did they have Squirrel
yeah,
Girl?
Lego made up some. What? Which one?
Squirrel Girl?
They had Squirrel Girl in Lego Avengers.
Gotcha.
My gosh.
Yeah.
She's one of the few
Squirrel
Marvel
Girl.
characters that could defeat Thanos by herself.
What? Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Or she did at one point. You know,
I
comics.
better bring her on. Man. And then lastly, today picked up the Far Cry 5 DLC.
Yeah, you
Lost
did.
on Mars. And that game is tough.
Is it?
Yeah?
The last DLC, the Vietnam one, I never did go back and finish it because that final boss battle was so tough, and I was kind of going in thinking, okay, this might be. They're kind of ramping it up on me. I'm still going to play on the normal mode rather than easy, but it is tough. But what they make up for it in the fact that it is hilariously ridiculous.
Good.
It is. At one point, you can
Just like
you can
Blood Dragon?
just like Blood Dragon. You know, at one point
Awesome.
they had this thing that you could get, and it's called a power glove. And I thought, that's hilarious. And then a minute later, when the character says, doesn't that look like the old NES power glove?
Wow.
No way.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. I love
That's
that.
good
And
on
so-
you, Ubisoft.
One of the things when they first announced the DLC took place on Mars, I thought, what does this have to do with Far Cry? And within 2 minutes, one of the characters, Herc, is saying, now, hey, man, this really doesn't have much to do with anything else or any kind of storyline we set up, but you just got to go with it, man.
Oh,
That's brilliant. God, they do.
It's just,
I
Man,
love
they just
that
do
so
DLC
much.
right, don't they?
They do. And so I'm struggling with it, but I'm having a good time just because it's Nick Rye and Herc, and these guys are hilarious together. And
Oh, nice.
That's
so,
great.
yeah, it's good time. So it was a good way to end the gaming week with some new Far Cry.
That's
Love it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Tim.
Mr. Router.
Yeah, all right. All right, Piper's topic of the week. Theater camp. That's what she's doing this week, which is actually it's pretty cool. Like I was a little wary about it at first, but it's happening down at
Why were you wary about it?
I didn't
Well,
know.
let's not have him accidentally offend someone.
No. I'm not. It's not. It's not because of that. It was because I didn't know if Piper would be too shy or be too embarrassed by it. And this little twerp is embracing it and loving every minute of it. And I may have a theater kid on my hands, which is awesome. I'm totally down
what a
for that.
twerp for loving
She's gonna
it.
be the only Annie that's got bottle flip down.
That's exactly. So yeah, she started the Williamson County Parks and Recreation. They put it all together, and it's at the Performing Arts Center right down by the library. And it's just, and it's all themed around Disney songs. This week is Disney songs, and then Friday they actually do a performance. And so we all get to go and see their performance at it's only 9 to noon, and then we get to see her performance on Friday. So I'm
only
right.
I thought you meant the performance is 9 to noon.
No, dude.
I did too.
That's ballet recital hours, dude. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. No.
Like they're doing all of Anne of Green Gables, just the whole series.
They're doing Ben-Hur, the entire movie.
They're doing the first half of Our Town.
Exactly.
In 3 languages.
Exactly. Yeah. And now in Spanish. Hola. No, so the camp is Monday through Friday from 9 to noon, and then Friday is their performance, and so we all get to go see it. I'm super excited, and she's coming home singing, and she was in the shower, and she was doing her routine and everything, and she's just loving it, and I'm so proud of her, and she's just having a great time. One of her other friends from her class is taking it, and that's how we found out about it. So she's really loving it. So that's been
good.
That's been happening this week. We like Mr. McCracken, Friday was our last day at the beach in Seaside, and we drove back on Saturday, and so we're just getting caught up with that, and we've unpacked, and now I'm kind of excited. Now we're gonna get to slide in a nice routine. We're not going anywhere for a while, and Piper's gonna start school in 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks now, so it's coming right around the corner. And so she's got a camp this week, a camp next week, and then she's off for a little bit, and then boom, she'll be starting school. So it's pretty crazy. So it'll be nice just to
get this camp going.
Let's get this camp going. That's right. So
camp and school, baby. Camp and school.
That's right. Just keep them busy. Keep them occupied. Let's go.
Yeah. Look over here. Look over here.
Yep.
Look up here.
Yep.
Look up here.
Now somebody else take care of my child for a little bit while I go work. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you just need school camp.
Now we need school camp. Exactly.
What y'all mean you want to be out on Saturday or Sunday?
That's right. Exactly. No, I'm not going to bike ride with you. Oh, it's so awesome. But so we're kind of back in the swing of things now, which is great. I am on the gaming front. I'm just still in Far Cry 5 mode and chasing that platinum.
Nice.
And I will probably start hooking up with our community to see if they want to do some co-op and have some fun there. But I'm waiting to do all the arcade stuff and all of the co-op stuff until after the main story. So I want to keep going with that and get all that done. I'm trying to get all the other trophies that I need that are non co-op or multiplayer or arcade and try and get all those done. So it's just
let me know when you do that, Tim, because I never played any of the co-op.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Yeah,
and I know there's a few other people on Discord that's hit me up too, so I want to make sure anybody who's everybody who wants to. But you're not going to be up at 5:00 in the morning, Ed. So I take that back. Right. You might. It depends.
He might still be up.
Yeah, he might still be up. I might catch you the final hour before you crash, but we'll see.
That's right.
But man, just this game is so much fun. It's definitely my summer jam. And I'm just having so much fun with it, and then
I can't wait to play it,
dude. It's just great. It really is. I can't tell yet, and I need to finish the story. I can't tell if it's my favorite one so far because I loved all of them, and they all kind of follow the same kind of style. There's something about this one though. There's just so much to explore, and it's just there's all the different challenges that offer you perks and all the prepper stashes, and there's so much. This game is just loaded with so much to do. And
do you think this is the Far Cry game you've spent the most time with?
I think so, actually.
Yeah.
I think it would be this one, then 4, then 3.
Okay.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Did you do the other one? You did the other one too, right?
Which one? I did 3 and 4.
Far Cry.
Primal?
And Primal.
Yeah,
yes, and Primal. Yes, I did Primal as well. It's
where you were the NPC?
That's right, exactly. Precisely. I'm gonna pull that duct tape out from under you, man, in a second. You better watch out.
I set my own self up for a joke.
You know, I created that duct tape. I can take it away. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I think this is probably the longest one so far, and I'm totally fine with it. And I'm doing exactly what Ed and Chris had done, and not like jumping in any of the cars. I'm walking everywhere, or I'm just fast traveling to the nearest spot that I need to, and then walking, because there's always something that happens. Whether it's you can hunt, you can fish. There's always, like, you are not just sitting there running. Like, there's always something. There's an ambush. There's, you know, some of the resistance that's fighting other people, and you just get right in there as well and get into the action. And there's always something to do, and that's what I love about it, is the unpredictability of it. And it's just great. So
did you say that you finished the main campaign, or you?
No.
Okay.
I have Jacob Seed left, and then the final part of it.
Okay.
And so I'm in the process of clearing out that the mountain area, and I'm enjoying that story too. And it's just awesome. So I'm just loving it. It's just such a huge sandbox. It's like the modern day Witcher 3 for me. Really, because there's just so much to do. There's so many side missions to do, and you know, I've got a great weapon system. Like, I'm sticking with what I've got, and you know, I've upgraded them to where I need to, and I'm very comfortable in combat, and it's perfect. So now it's really just chasing after some of these trophies. So the plane one that I have to do, I'm a little wary about. So because I struggled on the plane for a little while.
Oh, that's right.
But I'll get there. I'll definitely make it happen. That and Clash Royale thank you. I appreciate it. That and Clash Royale, and I am good to go.
Nice.
Woo. Man, you know what's crazy? I've been missing Clash so bad.
Oh, we've missed you too.
Oh my gosh, I want to play it so bad. We have zero internet. It's killing me.
I would be so afraid, like, especially if you wanted to play in a clan war, that somehow, like, your connection gets lost. That's like my greatest fear. Because, like, you want to
trust me, that's all I've thought about.
I know, you just sweat it. I'm like, and that happened to me in one of the clan wars too. I'm like, no, and I ended up losing because my connection went out. I'm like, I failed everyone, no. But it's I really love. That's like one of the first things I look forward to is the clan wars, because either Stancil or you or somebody always, like, once one's done, we immediately pick right up to the next one, and it's so much fun.
That's right.
So that's it for me.
Love it. Good. Well, I mean, you got to keep going.
I'll keep this party going. Yeah, I got it.
Well, let's do it.
All right, we got some new releases this week. Mother Gunship for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
The old Mother Gunship.
That's right.
Language.
That's right. Exactly. That was good, Ed. Tempest.
We need to do an unnecessary censorship.
Yes, exactly. That's Mother Boop Chip. Yeah, that'd be perfect. That would be
That's
great.
That's going to be my new phrase in Overwatch when we go up against a Torbjorn. Mother Gunship.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yes.
For the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, Tempest 4000. Hand of Fate 2 for the Switch. Hungry Shark World for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Man, I used to play that on the iPad and had a ball with that game. Hungry Shark World is fun. Naked.
Really? Is that the one where you're the shark and it's like a side scroller and you're jumping out of the water to eat?
And
people?
you have to maintain a certain health, and it's kind of like a speed platformer, because you can swim around for a little bit, but you have to constantly eat something before your health bar goes down. And it was a lot of fun. As Eduardo said, Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars DLC, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Sonic Mania Plus for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Chicken Assassin Reloaded for the PC, PS4, and Switch. I kind of want to play that. That sounds amazing.
Okay, then.
Reloaded.
Yeah. Why not? Because why not, right?
Awesome. Exactly. It's because stuff.
Because stuff. Because things and chickens.
Yeah. Yes.
Frost for the PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. The Moose Man for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Lord have mercy.
Exactly.
Reloaded.
Exactly. Fear the Wolves.
All of a sudden, I'm really looking forward to February.
There you go. This is the Steam Early Access for the PC, Fear the Wolves, and Tanzia for the Switch. That is it for new releases. We had one oops, and this is my bad. The Frozen Gamer over on Discord. I'm sure others already pointed it out, but Octopath Traveler also came out on Friday the 13th. It's sort of a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy VI, and it is awesome so far.
Oh, that's right.
So, I apologize, Octopath Traveler.
I played that demo because your boy loves a demo.
Because your boy loves a good demo, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a new source for new releases because when I went to GameSpot today, they didn't have the same section anymore. I got the old 404 error. So I'm like, oh, I guess they're not doing that anymore. But I found another one that actually has.
They must be working with Amazon this week.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're all broke. And so this one actually has like release dates for each thing. So I might start doing that as well, which would be fun.
Do it. Do the thing.
Right.
And that is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Nice. Chris McCracken.
Well, as people who listen to us here on the podcast know, the four of us like Uncharted. And
here we go.
There's been talk for a long time that Sony's been trying to make an Uncharted movie. And look, we know video game movies up until this point have not been that great. But, eventually one of these is going to be really awesome. And so I always kind of thought, well, it's possible that the Uncharted one could be done right and done really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we got our first little signs that, yes, it indeed could be done very well. Mm-hmm. Because Alan Unger, who is a Canadian-born writer and director, did a passion project short film that's unofficial. It's not sponsored by Sony, has nothing to do with Sony or Naughty Dog or anything at all. And he put it up on the internet, and it stars Nathan Fillion as Drake.
Oh.
And it's
come on, baby.
Awesome.
That's perfect.
It's like 15 minutes. It's just a perfect little taste.
It's so good,
and it's really good. It's got the humor there. It's got the action.
Yes.
It's got it feels good. And Nathan Fillion is a great Drake. If it can't be Nolan North, he kind of looks the part. He can play the part. He sounds the part. Mm-hmm. I think it was awesome.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to watch it. Why do I have any internet?
Yeah, exactly.
And at first, I thought they had taken clips of things that Nathan Fillion had done to make it look like an Uncharted film. Mm-hmm. So at first, I didn't even watch it. And then today, I finally did watch it, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
The camera angles. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so the director, Alan Unger, he had put out on his Instagram, he said, I wanted to do this ever since the first Uncharted came out in 2007. And then Nathan Fillion had a little statement about it as well. He said, this is something I wanted to do, but more importantly, something that I've wanted to see for a really long time. If you've ever pinned a towel around your neck for a cape or donned a fedora and nearly put out your eye with a homemade whip, this is for you. Thank you, Alan Unger, for letting us all scratch this itch. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for creating such a wonderful archetype. And everybody's just awesome over there with their fingers crossed saying, all right, Sony, you need to not pull any shenanigans and have this taken down. You need to look and see, see, this can really work. This is how you do it right. Just do this and make this like an hour and a half long and you're good. This is what
Chris,
you need to do.
can you post that? Did you post that up on Discord or Twitter or anything?
I did not post it, but we had a few people tweet the link to us.
Oh, I got to see it. That's awesome.
It is in Discord somewhere. Someone did post it.
Yeah, and it probably is on Discord.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this quick.
Yes.
So we know with passion projects or fan-made films, usually they don't have quite a level of polish on it. Mm-hmm. How does this feel polish-wise?
It's pretty dang good. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that.
Oh.
I mean, there's little bits that you're like, great. Okay, there's no CG, so you would think with polish there'd be some CG parts in it and everything like that. There's nothing that looks really crazy in there, so you can tell that it was done they had a weekend and they're putting it all together. But the acting's legit from all parties, I feel like. And the action is good. It's really well choreographed. I mean, I think it's really dang good. And it helps that there's real working actors in it, they're Hollywood caliber, like Nathan Fillion, and the directors actually directed action movies for Hollywood, you know? I mean, so he knows what he's doing. It's not like amateurs doing it. And you could tell that, granted, because it was a passion project, I'm sure they just paid for it out of their own pocket, but there was some actual budget put to it, you can tell.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that Nathan Fillion knows? He has to know that we all want him as Drake.
Yes,
right?
he must.
There's no way people haven't been telling him that for years.
I mean, you had me at Nathan Fillion.
Gosh.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, done. That's gold. That's just gold. Just cut, print. Let's go. This is awesome. That is absolutely perfect.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
No, that's
so
great.
fun.
I'm so sad I haven't been able to see it.
I'm so sad you live in the Stone Age all of a sudden.
Exactly. Well, borrowing from Chris's intro, if you've heard this podcast, 3 out of the 4 of us love us some Overwatch.
Yep.
And 2 out of 4 of us really love Overwatch League.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Overwatch League is going to be on ESPN. And I don't mean ESPN2. I don't mean the Ocho. I don't mean ESPN Plus like Manny Pacquiao was the last weekend.
Yep.
ESPN is going to be showing the Overwatch League grand finale, which takes place on July 27th and 28th at the Barclays Center.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The winners get $1.4 million.
Yep.
And I am so excited that it's going to be on like a prime station. Like there's no hiding from it. ESPN is kind of like putting their foot in the sand saying we are the channel for sports and this is a real sport. And I'm just so excited that ESPN is doing this. Because it'd be so easy for them to push it off to one of the other things.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
So
that's huge.
Are you guys freaking hyped about that?
I was so excited to hear that.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's tomorrow night, right? Or at least the next version, the next round of it is next week, right? Or tomorrow?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I'm going to miss. I'm really I haven't got to see any of the playoffs because we were out of town in vacation last week when they were going on. I'm not going to be able to watch tomorrow night either. So it's like, I've got to catch some of this. Like, because this is not just a stage playoff. This is the playoff. I got to catch some of it.
Oh my gosh! So who's still? Is everybody still in it, or have they
No,
knocked
there's only
a couple
4
teams off
teams,
now?
I think.
Yeah, it's the 2 LA teams,
do you know
New
who
York
they are?
and London. Is that correct, Chris?
I believe so. I haven't been able to watch, so I've just been checking a little bit on my phone here and there to try to keep a look at the standings. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'm just excited because, like, for esports in general and for ESPN, I feel like they're.
Oh, and Philly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's London, LA Valiant, Philadelphia, and New York Excelsior are in the top 4. The final 4, as they call it.
Nice. I was just excited to see it because I feel like, esports probably won't be taken seriously for a little while. Just like any kind of fringe sport that kind of slowly makes its way into the mainstream. And so I was just like, I'm kind of just proud of ESPN for doing this and giving up the bandwidth and being like, yeah, this is important. This is a big deal.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I'll be curious to see what kind of ratings they get too. I mean, if they see some really good ratings for that, then that they're gonna continue to pursue it. So I'm very curious.
Gamers need to watch. Just have it on in the background, even if you don't want to watch it, just so you can count.
Exactly.
The thing about it is, I wonder if part of the reason, because Overwatch League, while it's been doing very well for itself in its first year, it's by far, like, it's not the biggest esport that's out there.
Right.
I bet one of the reasons, though, that ESPN's, like, it's piqued their interest a little bit more, one is because it's at least based here in the U.S., and 2, the production value on Overwatch League is really good. Like, it feels like something you could see on ESPN. And I don't know, I mean, there may be great production value for, like, League of Legends and Dota 2 and whatnot as well. I just haven't watched those to know the same amount. And just the games, the way that they're played is different. I don't know that...
Yeah.
Overwatch feels like the type of game that can, for me, in my opinion, on a video game, is very spectator friendly if you're familiar with the game. Like, I know people that are coming in that have never played the game, and it's hard for them to keep up, and I understand that. But if you're familiar with the game, I feel like they do a really good job of swooping into the different views, giving you an overhead view, really varying it up. And the production value of Blizzard Arena is really good. They really nailed that aspect of it.
And like you've mentioned before, Chris, the fact that the teams are city or region based.
Yes, that's
makes a big difference.
One of the smartest things that they did, because I mean it's so easy to get behind, like, oh yeah, Dallas, or oh yeah, Philly, or to root for your city. It's representing you in a way, kind of like it is in other sports.
Right.
So I really like
really
that.
smart. Yeah, it's really smart.
The only thing I'm hoping doesn't happen is, it's like Chris was saying, like if you just jump into it and don't know the game too much, some of the lingo they use is a little hard to understand. So I hope they understand the gravity of the moment. And I don't want them to dumb it all the way down, but those commentators are talking so fast anytime I've watched the league. And so I just hope that they're able to really translate it, not to the masses. I don't need everybody to enjoy it, because I know, number one, not everybody's going to, but I just hope that it's at least a nice gateway for people to really be able to understand and enjoy the esport, even if they don't know Overwatch at all.
Are you saying what you're concerned about is not knowing what the terms they're using mean, or just because they're saying so much at you?
Well, it's a mix of the two, because you're kind of mixing fast and furious talking with lingo that somebody doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, this is a really bad example, but I know nothing about cricket. And so if cricket broadcast on ESPN and the commentators were talking really fast and using all the lingo, I almost wouldn't be able to follow along.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just hope that they understand the gravity of the moment.
I'm sure they will, and I would probably assume that in between the matches, when they have a couple of minutes here and there, they'll probably explain, here's what this is. I wouldn't put that past them at all.
I wonder if they go into even some of the characters too.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be smart. Everybody loves a good backstory.
What else you got, Christopher?
So I'm just going to stick on the Nathan Fillion train here.
There you go.
So he had revealed recently in a talk with Kotaku that he, in his opinion, he is not convinced that in Destiny 2's next expansion, The Forsaken, that Cade 6 is really going to be dead. Despite the fact that Bungie has come out and stated unequivocally that the Hunter Vanguard is dead. Like, he is going to be dead at the end of this game. And he also revealed something else that I had not heard this, so this was brand new news to me. But he confirmed that he's not actually voicing Cade 6 in this next expansion because he was busy at the time when they were needing to record the VO. He said instead, Nolan North is the same person who plays the Ghost and plays Nathan Drake and all these other things under the sun. He's going to be doing the voice for Cade 6. And this is kind of where my head went. I was like, look, one of the reasons that I was irritated at hearing that Cade 6 is going to die is because I was like, look, if I really don't think it's a budget concern because, Activision's got all the money under the sun. So I don't think it's a budget thing, the reason, that we can't keep paying Nathan Fillion to do this. But it could very well be, like he was confirmed here, that he's a busy man, he does a lot of stuff, maybe he can't do it. They can get another actor to do the voice of Cade 6. So if he truly is like dead, I'm going to be pretty annoyed because I feel like he's the best NPC character in the game. It's like, just kill him off, whatever, do your thing to give people want to have revenge, whatever, and then bring him back as Cade 7. You can find somebody else besides Nathan Fillion to voice him that'll be good enough, It's just about the character and the writing. It's not so much the voice. I mean, the voice is a key part of it because Nathan does a really good job at delivering the lines and stuff. But I feel very confident that Nolan North's going to be able to do a good job to him as well. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
of course,
at least from Nathan Fillion's side, I'm going to hold out hope that maybe he's right and has some little tidbit of information that he's not really giving, that he's kind of like winking. Yeah, Cade 6 is dead. And I'm going to hold out hope that he doesn't really die because I'm going to be super bummed if he dies. Like, for real.
Yeah, we didn't, and nobody died or got hurt when we switched up Aunt Viv's. If they could switch up Aunt Viv, they could switch up Cade 6.
There you go. That's what I'm saying, right?
That's where I'm standing on that.
Let's do it.
Even though I really did like the original Aunt Viv. Little Fresh Prince of Bel-Air going on. So I don't know anything about this game, but the only reason I bring it up is because I do kind of want to say I'm proud of these guys, but No Man's Sky is getting a ginormous update on July 24th. It's called No Man's Sky Next, and it's going to be free for everyone that already owns the game, and they're adding all kind of stuff, updating the graphics, bringing in all these kind of things. And the only reason I'm proud is because I feel like this would have been a really easy thing to just write off. Hey, we got it wrong.
Yeah.
We promised a bunch of stuff and we couldn't deliver it. We're so sorry. We update a couple things, patch some of the broken stuff, and then move on to maybe No Man's Sky 2 or whatever else that they want to do. But they did announce that they have this huge thing going on. They're still working on it. They want to give the players, especially the early adopters, the ones that bought the game, they want to be true to the game that they wanted to deliver. And so I thought this was cool to see. That
good for them.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And this is another big one that they're bringing out. And I don't really know what next means, but they're calling it No Man's Sky Next. So I don't know if that means, that I have no idea what that means. But I just love that I think this is their second huge update that they've done. And so I'm just glad that they're still working on it. They're a small team and it would be easy to count your losses and move on. But the fact that they're trying to make it right, I think is really cool.
That is cool. Man.
And I don't think they had multiplayer before, even though they had promised it from the get-go. And this one's going to have multiplayer in it. It's got a visual overhaul going on. And so, I'm still not going to play it. But I'm happy for the people that did play it and were trying to stick with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That these guys are still behind them and decided to try to bring the pan on this.
Definitely have to respect them as developers for kind of holding themselves accountable and kudos to them for doing so.
Yeah, and I'm reading this off the PlayStation blog, but even the comments, people are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait! It took 2 years, but I'm glad this game's finally coming together."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it'd be so. I just think it'd be easy to quit.
Oh yeah,
so
I'm
just glad
definitely.
Is that Hello Game? Who is that?
Yeah,
is that
Hello Games.
Yeah, Hello Games.
Hello Fresh
Hello
Games.
That's right.
No, that's not it.
Delivered right to your door.
That's right. They give you all the pieces. You just have to put the game together yourself.
That's
exactly.
Here's an SDK. Go for it.
That's pretty much how it went.
Aw.
Oh man, give us something else, Chris.
All right, well, this next story is going to appeal mostly to me, but I'm going to read the story because it's my story and I'll read it if I want to.
That's right. Absolutely.
This Bailey is going to appeal to Nathan Fillion fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Sticking with the Nathan Fillion. No, I'm not. But I am going to say that another video game movie that's been talked about forever and kind of rumblings that it might finally get moving, but we don't really know, is the Metal Gear Solid movie. And I'm pumped about it because I feel like they have a director on board that's tied to it at the moment that actually knows what he's doing, and I have total faith in him, is Jordan Vogt-Roberts. And he said on Twitter that the final script has been written and has been handed in. So that's still like way, 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 way early in production. And this still could never see the light of day. It may never even get made. But the fact that Sony's at least toying with the idea, that Jordan Vogt-Roberts is on board, they have a script written in there, and it's been handed in, like things are looking good. And he is a big Metal Gear fan. He's a friend of Kojima. Like they hang out and they're posted on Instagram and Twitter all the time, pictures of them hanging out and doing cool stuff, and I just want to be part of it so bad. and Metal Gear Solid recently hit their 31st birthday, and so every single day, Jordan is posting concept art. Not necessarily that's legit concept art showing what's going to be in the movie, but just because he's toying with all these ideas and starting to get all these things going and everything. So he's posting images and concept art every single day this month, or for the 31 days since the anniversary started. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am just in love with this dude's Twitter and Instagram feed. I just look at it every single day. And this guy, like, he's one of my new heroes. It's like him and Kojima. If I could just give him a big old hug, I'd do it right now. Because I'm
and that
so
is
hyped.
exactly who you want to do a movie like this. Is somebody who knows the game, who's involved and gets it. And that actually gives me hope that we may have a very good video game movie coming out.
And at the end of the day, yes, it could still go bad and be a horrible movie, but this is at least the best shot you're going to have at it with somebody like this at the helm. You know what I mean? So it at least gives you hope that something could be really cool. Oh man, I'm so, and he
have to mention too that, and Chris has mentioned it before, but he's who interviewed Kojima when we saw them at E3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you could really, we could really tell for the people that were in the room how much he cared for Kojima as a person, but also for the art that he's created.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
So I'm totally on board with you, Chris. He's the perfect guy to do it.
Yeah, he interviewed Kojima that year that Gabe and I went and watched it, and he did it at last year's E3 as well. He interviewed Kojima again. And and so he actually had one quote in this article where he talks about this, and he said, "We just turned in the script, and I think it's one of the best scripts I've ever read. It's one of the coolest, weirdest, most Kojima things ever." That's like beautiful music to my ears. That's what I want to hear.
Exactly.
Yes. So
I hope they ate a bunch of Ambien and just tried to keep themselves up and
That's
wrote
right.
the script like that.
if they want, yes, just do it. I don't care what you got to do. Just the ends justify the means. Just get there. I'm gonna turn.
I don't care what you're on. Just make it happen. That's
So you
awesome.
developed a habit. You have to do that sometimes.
Yep.
Right. It's method writing.
That's right.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Method
like it.
directing.
Exactly. Chris, give them some more. I've had a lack of internet, so I'm low on news.
So,
Chris, do you have something else?
Yes, I do. So there was a fan remake of PT that was being made on the PC, and it has been shut down officially by Konami.
Oh, it did get shut down?
Yeah, it did get shut down, and the 17-year-old that was developing it, all by himself, by the way, and he goes by the handle, I don't know exactly how to say it. I'm going to say Kimsar. It's Qimsar. He said that a Konami representative did reach out to him and told him, look, you're going to have to cease and desist. However, he kind of like tried to say like, but it's not all bad, because he said that the Konami representative was actually really cool about it, wasn't like threatening or angry or any of that kinds of stuff, and said, hey,
That's
we
good.
are going to have you shut this down, but we think you did a lot of really great work. And moreover than that, Konami actually offered him an internship.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome. See,
Yeah,
No
so it's
way.
like, if you're gonna shut it all down and bring a cease and desist, this is probably the best way that you could have done it.
Yeah.
And he's
I love
really
that.
excited about it. In fact, he even said, he's like, even though I loved making this and it was a passion project kind of thing, he's like, in a weird way, this is like lifted like a giant burden has been lifted off of my shoulders. And he up to this point, he had spent over 180 hours making this, again, by himself.
Jeez.
And I saw a little bit of the
amazing.
gameplay because I think a week before he got this cease and desist from Konami, he had put out some footage to kind of show his progress and everything, and it looked great. I mean, it looked like what I remember from PT when Gabe was playing it at 100. So I thought it was really
That's
awesome.
great.
That's
That's
right.
amazing.
So I'm really, really happy for him, and hopefully it's not, they're not just saying things like, oh, come out for an internship, and really it's just a glorified tour of the campus or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hopefully they actually give him a real shot, because the kid has shown that he's very talented and knows what the heck's going on. So they would be lucky to have him on their team, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else you got? Got anything more?
Yeah, I got one other thing, and it's so we kind of touched on a little bit in our comments about Amazon, the Amazon game. What is it called? The Amazon Prime Day or Prime Week or
Prime
whatever?
Day.
Yeah,
Prime
yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
Well, during that event, if that's what you want to call it, they were selling some games and
Sure.
some PC games. A couple in particular called Frostpunk and Surviving Mars, which I've never heard of these games, but apparently they're somewhat popular. And people were like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. It's so super cheap. So for instance, Frostpunk was selling for $2.99. It's usually $29.99. And then Surviving Mars was selling for $3.99, and it usually sells for $39.99. They're like, oh my gosh. So some people on Reddit did a little bit more digging, and it turns out that they're pirated copies that were being sold on Amazon
man.
under Amazon Digital Services. It turns out that what it is they were games that were purchased on GOG, which stands for Good Old Games, and anybody who buys from Good Old Games knows that all those games that are sold there, they're not copyright protected, or they are copyright protected, but they have no DRM involved.
DRM
So
free.
yeah, DRM free. So this person who had signed up to sell these through Amazon basically had created his own launcher that launches the game. But if you just do some dig around the files, you see all this GOG stuff on there, so you can tell that,
wow.
oh my gosh, these are pirated games. And at the time of this article, which it came out, I think it came out yesterday or the day before. Yeah, yesterday at 5. They said they had reached out to Amazon, and Amazon just didn't have any comment and didn't say anything. So I don't know if it's actually been shut down or what. I'm assuming that Amazon's put the kibosh on this as of now, but I didn't have time to go search and see if they were still on the store. And at the time of the publishing of this article from Kotaku, they had still not shut it down. So that's just kind of ridiculous.
They're probably still recovering from Prime Day anyway, so.
Yeah, they probably are. But I mean, talk about some egg on your face to be selling pirated games on your legit storefront.
Yikes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yikes.
That sucks.
Mhm.
That sucks.
All right, that was my last story.
Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us?
Well, over on the YouTubes, new this week, Lego The Incredibles Part 4. Sarah and I still kind of plugging away at that game. You can watch Danger Zone 2, and you can watch me yell at the game and complain for an hour and a half if that's what you're into.
Amen.
Yeah, sure.
I might go to sleep tonight.
I'm completely into that.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 parts 1 through 4, and then about 3.5 hours of Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars parts 1 and 2. So you can check that out as well and see what you think.
Nice.
Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos, combining the average watch time and views for the week of July 10th through the 16th. Number 10, Watch Dogs 2.
Come on, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us 2.
Watch Dogs 2 Part 48, Ghost Signals. Number 9, Hue Part 5, Red. Number 8, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
There it is.
Boom! Boom!
By request
Boom!
from Gabe.
Never gonna give you up.
Number 7, Hue Part 7, Yellow. Number 6, Married to the Games episode 304, At the Beach with MTTG. Very nice.
Perfect.
That's right.
Number 5, The Russian Bots Have Stopped Working, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp. Number 4, Hue Part 4, Pink. Number 3, Hue Part 10, University. Number 2, Hue Part 11, The Ending. And number 1, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job.
Of course.
Everything is back where it's supposed to be. All is well on Walton's Mountain.
There you go. The
That's
world
right.
is secure.
The world is secure.
Was there any iTunes reviews?
When you look at the iTunes reviews and you go by the most recent, you've got one.
Oh,
We've got one. The topic, MTTG, is the GOAT.
yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. That stands for greatest of all time, baby. All right.
That's right.
Achievement
The
unlocked.
LeBron James of podcasts.
That's right. LeBron James.
That says, achievement unlocked, locate and listen. About 5 months ago, my cousin introduced me to this podcast about, I believe it was the Utah Weirdness episode, and I was instantly hooked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
After a few more episodes, I decided to go back, all the way back.
Whoa.
I've waited to review.
Oh, snap.
Right? I've waited to review until the day I listened to every episode. And today,
Wow.
boys, I'm happy to
Oh,
announce
snap.
I've officially platinumed MTTG.
Yeah, you have.
Nice.
And I gotta say, I am not disappointed. Every episode was great. I was excited to hear the episodes that brought Chris and Ed on board. Couldn't wait to find the one that started the Tim is old jokes.
Yep. That's pretty much all of them now at this point.
All the anniversary episodes, and of course, the first time you four uttered the beautiful words, Thornfelt Swamp.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Thanks for all the great times.
Dang it.
Please don't change a thing. You guys are great. And that was by Ball Crater Face.
nice name, Ball Crater Face.
Best handle ever. Love that.
So thank you so much for that review.
That was my nickname in high school.
I know. That was every boy's nickname in high
I
school.
found them acne swabs.
So yeah, thank you for that review. That's awesome. I love that's just so
Yes,
cool.
thank
I
you
love
so
that.
much.
Thank
So
you.
nice.
That really means a lot. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Absolutely.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you what cartoon or something like that. Because I'm looking at, remember, I'm like barely having the internet. So,
Right.
what cartoon or show from your childhood would you like to see turned into a full-fledged video game? And starting over on Twitter, we got Bo at Bowie Trice, Inspector Gadget.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
That
a
would
good
be
one
good
too.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. The Frozen Gamer at Frozen Gamer 1987. I want Batman the Animated Series turned into a full
Ooh.
game
Oh, yeah.
in
There
the
you go.
same vein as the Arkham games. The closest we can get to that now is the skins for Batman, Robin, and Catwoman in Arkham City. I'd also be down for a Darkwing Duck game in the same vein. That's right. Nice. Nerdish67 at dspin67. Well, they aren't cartoons, but an Ultraman or Johnny Soko game would be interesting. I know Ultraman is coming to Netflix next year. Speed Racer would be nice too. I wouldn't mind having the Mach 5 as a downloadable car in Forza or a racing game.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. At the very least, it could be a skin on Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. Over on Facebook, Juan Garcia, an open world G.I. Joe RPG game.
Yes. Yes.
You create a custom character, and based on the choices you make in the world, you have either Joe slots or you can unlock the vehicles, guns, clothes, and the people in the world would react on your choices.
That is perfect. I'm all about it.
That'd be pretty cool. Mark 2. I'd take an old school cartoon like Heckle and Jekyll or Tom and Jerry with the graphical style of Cuphead, and it should have fun platforming like Rayman Legends.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I like that.
I love all this.
That's
right
really
now.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Dombrowski, Gummy Bears. No, really.
No.
In all seriousness.
Oh. I thought that was
80s
it.
fighter.
I did too.
80s fighter mass up like Mask, Thundercats, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, etc. What a character selection it could be, plus all the villains to said cartoons. It would play that. I would play that all day.
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
day.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
Me
good.
too.
That's good.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. Let's see. Over on Discord. Oh, just give it a second as it loads. Jeez. This has been the worst, honestly.
That's
I
awesome.
had
Doing
no
great, man.
idea
You're doing
how
great.
much I depended on the freaking internet. Okay, here we go. Nick Fallhaber over on Discordia. Disney's Gargoyles. It could have an Arkham-style open world, and there are plenty of villains and a complex story to work with. Ooh, I used to love Gargoyles.
Yeah, so did I.
I didn't know that was
man.
Disney.
Yeah, man. Gargoyles was
Oh, yeah.
bomb. Love that.
Shep Dog, Mighty Max was an awesome show. I don't know what type of gameplay I expect out of a kid wearing a magical baseball cap that can teleport through space and time, but I'd be happy to find out.
Oh, sure.
Like that.
It's called The
Who wouldn't?
Adventures of Captain
I like
Spirit.
Mm.
Oh, there you go.
Aw.
that. Oh man.
Wah, wah.
Jeez. Uh-huh. I knew I could count on you guys.
That was perfectly in unison, even with your junk all messed up. That was great.
Nova Flicks. I would have to go with Captain Planet. He's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. I don't care if it's a beat 'em up or a full-fledged story akin to the Uncharted series. Captain Planet needs to make a serious comeback. I'm all in. Take my money.
Gabe, did you see what Nova Flix posted this week as his MTTG project?
I don't have any internet.
When you
Have you
internet,
mentioned that he doesn't
Yeah.
have internet?
you've got to see him having a conversation with Alexa about Married to the Games.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ooh,
It's so
it's
good.
really
Check that out.
great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That Joker's pretty creative.
Yeah, he
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
He's a creative dude. Which is weird because I don't think his job requires any creativity whatsoever. It's all
It's his outlet, man.
I know it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. He says he's just really good at math, and so math is what he does for a living, pretty much. It's so.
Wish I was really good at
He
math.
definitely. I know, me too. Thank you guys so much for answering our questions. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games. Come join the community. Come join the group. It's awesome. People are chatting in there. That's where I first saw my first glimpse of Nathan Fillion playing Drake, and I was like, play! Oh, buffering.
Yep, buffer.
Buffering.
Yep.
Buffering.
Buffering. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Come over to marriedtothegames.com. Get yourself a t-shirt or a mug or something like that. Like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. On Patreon, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/MTTG and throw $1 our way. It would be awesome, and we would appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And Chris.
Rate us on iTunes, and you'll get a free roll of Married to the Games branded duct tape, just like we use on the show.
There you go. I like that.
Oh my God.
That was perfect.
Mine is more held together by toilet paper this week.
Oh no, that's much worse.
So I'm trying not to spit or get anything wet.
I was going to say wet toilet paper would not work right now. Oh.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with Discord. Mark Boucher. Doc Brown hands you the keys to the DeLorean time machine. What time period would you go to first and why? Hashtag this is heavy, Doc.
I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say it.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing, Gabe. Here's the thing. So you've got a DeLorean.
You can go to the future.
You've got a DeLorean. So wherever you go, you can just like, man, this is cool looking. Hop right back in and drive away before any of the
That's
craziness.
right. That's right. You do have an escape route.
Yes,
You're good.
you have a way to get away. They don't know how to compete with a flying car.
Maybe I'll go back to watching Adam name all the animals
Oh, you mean Tim?
and be like, that's a...
You can just have Tim tell you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tim.
Yep. You mean me and Adam
And,
naming all of the animals?
yeah, Tim's back there like, I don't know, man. I think I'd go with ostrich on that.
I don't know about that platypus. You
I'm
might
really
want to
feeling
rethink that one.
elephant. What is that? You know, it's right there. You see it.
You're going to name that orange? You were fine coming up with apple and banana, but you couldn't get any more creative than orange?
That's it. Exactly. How original, Adam. Way to go, bud.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I really don't know what I don't have any time periods I'm trying to do. Chris,
Would you go to the future or the past, Gabe?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
I'm a little worried about the future, man. I'm trying to have the future get here as slowly as it's getting here now.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't want to show up in like, too far in the future and see if America's just turned to a wasteland. Be
Yeah,
like, well,
seriously.
that's something to look forward to. Great.
I know, right?
Get back in my DeLorean.
It's Fallout 2018.
Gabe's like, well, I can't go to the past, and Ed can't go to the future.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Edward.
Yep.
But make sure that thing gassed up because
Yeah, no, you got to bring
I
all
already
the-
ran into a couple troubles sometimes.
Right.
When it was flying, couldn't you like fuel it with just banana peels and stuff?
Oh,
in
that's
that?
right, because I'm Mr. Fusion.
Yeah, man. So you just
Hey,
gotta
there you go.
load up a bunch
Yeah.
of Chiquita bananas and you good.
Chiquita bananas.
Oh my gosh. Ed, where are you trying to go?
You know what? I would go to the 50s.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I could
I've
totally
always
see
liked
you
that
going
time
there.
frame. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what's funny? It was a big reminder today. This is not a spoiler, I don't think, but in Call of Duty, there's a black guy that shows up late in the game. And all the soldiers is like, I'm not following him into battle. I was like, exactly why I don't want to go to the past.
Oh, my gosh. Yikes.
That's not funny.
They kind of pull the Smokey and the Bandit, the guy you're playing. When the black guy turns around, he goes, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to see." He was like, "Such an amazing engineer." He's like, yeah.
That's good.
What I was gonna say.
Adorable
Smokey and
racism.
Yeah, and Smokey and the Bandit, the cop shows up, and like the chief or whatever, the chief of police or whatever is black, and he goes, "Oh, you sounded a lot taller on the radio."
That's great.
Chris, what about you? Where are you going?
I think I would go to the 60s, but honestly, it's just for the music stuff. Like, I just want to go see bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice.
I love that.
I like that.
I'm
like that a lot, too.
I'm going back to the Revolutionary War, like the colonial America. I think that would be really cool to see. See how our
Yes, bring your candles.
bring candles, see how the country started, and just like witnessing everything. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, man.
Great question,
I like
Mark.
that.
Thanks for that. Burnaby Butters, today we went to the beach, and after 2 layers of sunscreen, I still got sunburn. What's your favorite and your worst beach vacation story?
Ooh.
Wow.
Favorite is that time I didn't go. Least favorite was the time I had to show up.
Hey!
I don't like the beach. I'm not feeling like I like it okay. You know, it's funny though, as I've gotten older, I used to love the ocean. And I still love to swim and all that, but like now that I'm older and like kind of know what's in there, and I got stung pretty good by a jellyfish the last time I was in that mug.
Yep.
And so I don't know. If I could surf though, I'd like to go to the beach.
Yeah.
I think surfing looks awesome.
Yep, it is.
Chris?
So, first of all, Barnaby, you should not be getting sunburned.
Yeah.
If you're layering it up twice. Number one, you just got to layer once, nicely covered, make sure it's even all over. Set a timer. It says 80 minutes in the water. You set that timer for 60. You don't trust what the bottle says.
Absolutely.
And then you go back and you reapply, and you should be fine. I just spent a whole week at the beach, and I just followed that method, and I didn't get a single sunburn. Other people I was with did. They didn't listen to old Chris. You know, the pasty guy over here knows what he's talking about. But no, you go do your thing. Sit out on that chair. I'm going to lather up again.
I like that.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So the worst time or worst vacation at the beach, honestly, it's not until Stacy and I got married. I've spent more time at the beach with her because she loves the beach. Than I did when we were younger. Like, we didn't really go to the beach very often. And so I've not really had like a bad experience. I'm more akin to Gabe. I'm not like a huge fan of the beach. It's fine. And I will say that this last trip I feel like is probably the best beach vacation that I've ever had.
Nice.
But yeah, it's definitely Stacy's favorite thing. And so that's the main reason I go, is because I want her to be happy, and the beach really makes her happy. So yeah, but I fortunately, I've not had any really horrible beach experiences.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ed?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Chris. I'm not one to really go to and hang out at the beach, but I've never had a bad beach experience. Probably the first time I moved out to California, and just being on the beach was really breathtaking, and just kind of nice to see the ocean for the first time. And it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I've got to change mine real quick.
All right.
Okay.
My best one was when I married my wife.
Oh,
I married my
there you
wife
go.
on the beach.
San Diego.
So I'll say my best is marrying Jenny on the beach.
There you go.
And then we'll send her
gotta
this
be
clip.
good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
She ain't listening, but we'll just send that to her, so it's perfect.
I know, right?
Yep.
So Tim, we know your worst experience was Normandy. But besides Normandy, what was...
Oh my God. Says the man who just finished the World War II campaign. Wow.
Those French beaches weren't all they were cracked up to be
those
back then.
French beaches sucked. Oh, that's hilarious. Well played, sir. Well played.
That was good. I didn't see that one coming.
That was so good.
That was perfect.
Tim was the only one
great.
heckling Saving Private Ryan. Not how it happened.
Exactly. Move your men off this beach. Oh, that's awesome. So every summer is growing up, from when I can remember, my family would always go to Ocean City, New Jersey. We'd rent a house, and it would just be all of us and my aunt and uncle and their 3 kids, and we'd all hang out, and we always have a great time. And I'd go. I used to bodyboard, and I had a couple buddies that surfed too. The best time that I will always remember is in the fall, in the off season. I would go with some of my surfer buddies, like on a Sunday, because we were only like an hour away from the beach, and we'd just go and we'd surf all day, and it was just beautiful. And I've had amazing experiences just being out in the water all day and surfing and just having a great time. Unfortunately, at Ocean City, New Jersey, was also where my grandmother had her stroke, and I actually woke up.
Oh, geez.
I woke up to her, and she was face down on the floor next to the bed.
Oh, gosh.
And so that was definitely probably the worst beach vacation story ever. So she was rushed to the hospital and stayed in the hospital in Ocean City in that area. So that's probably my worst. But
there you go.
Despite all that, I do love the beach, and man, this past week was just so great, just being down. I think I've become a huge Gulf of Mexico fan too, because the water is just crystal clear. It's bath water, and it's just beautiful. So it's perfect. It's great
When it's not full of oil.
when it's not full of oil or what have you. Great question. Thanks for that.
BP.
That's right. B-Dog1221. Hey, all. Just wanted to share an update really quick. So I've decided to go back to school and get my master's. I actually started yesterday, Monday. It's pretty hard getting back into the swing of things, but I really want to do this for me and my family. I probably won't be on many games until this is over, except the occasional Overwatch matches. So the MTTG YouTube channel is going to be my best friend. No pressure, Ed.
Yay.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the hardest thing you've ever had to get back into?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Probably, I really wasn't a fan of high school. And so whenever summer was over between my, going into being a freshman, we moved every 4 years as well. So I was going into my freshman year and I didn't know anybody in the whole school. I knew one girl and she was a cheerleader, so she wasn't helping your boy out at all. But I didn't know anybody going into high school. And then just going into my sophomore year, I just did not like school, man. So anytime I had to get back into the swing of school and waking up and waiting for the bus, my mom was very against me driving to school.
Oh, really?
Because she skipped school so much.
Oh,
so she was like, I know how this goes. You can't drive to school.
The temptation is there.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would say getting back to school, I didn't like that. Ed?
I would say for the most part, the creative outlets I have, if I haven't done them for a while, they're pretty easy to get into. But recently, I don't draw nearly as regularly as I used to. And when I try to pick it up again, boy, I can tell I haven't drawn in a while. It's a struggle.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is not like riding a bike.
Huh.
Yeah.
For me,
No, it is not.
Right. There you go. Chris?
I'm gonna probably say acting, or just like more comedic acting, because back when I was doing it and really started focusing a little bit more on doing more comedic stuff, it's very much like a muscle. You've really got to keep working it and keep at it, because it's easy to just kind of lose it. At least for me it was. I can't say that's for everybody, because some people are just born with that kind of stuff, but like keeping a good feel of comedic timing and whatnot, I feel like it's much easier if you do it on a more regular basis, and it's easy to kind of lose that to some extent. That's kind of what I did. So now anytime,
That makes sense.
which I haven't done anything in a while, but a couple years back, a friend of mine asked me to act in something that he had written, and man, it was just like, geez, I just did not feel like I'm hitting the right. I had to work on it a little bit more, because I was just thought like, oh yeah, I'll get right back. And it was like riding a bike, and it was not for me. I had to kind of work at it a little bit more.
Nice.
That's a good one. Tim?
For me, just from time to time, just getting back into shape, like being committed to like working, like trying to work out, eat right. Like I came back from vacation. I'm like, oh Lordy, I need to get back, I need to get back into the swing of things. And, when you first start back off, you get sore and you kind of feel like, ugh, is this ever going to end? But it's, it's just, for me, I just, I'm getting older, and I want to make sure that I'm there for my girls, and, I want to stay healthy, and so it's definitely hard to sometimes get back into the swing of things, especially I think in the summer, because you're not necessarily in a routine. Like that's kind of why I love the school months, because you kind of get into this routine and things kind of stay pretty consistent. But the summer is kind of all over the place. So I think that would be it for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Great question. Moving on to Facebook, John Roccabello. Can I get a shout out for all my donations and wins in Clash Royale? Yes, you can, sir. Thank you.
Big shout outs.
That's right. Big shout outs. We're definitely getting better in that Silver League, man, because that Silver League is tougher. But I feel like we're definitely up there. We're getting our groove on.
Yeah, I love it.
Matthew Serta, please describe the worst, quote, running down the school hallway in slow motion wearing only your underwear, end quote, nightmare you can remember.
I've never had that nightmare.
Ooh. Me either.
I've had one where I'm in a club and my bed is in the middle of the dance floor.
Really?
Don't ask me why
That's
or
funny.
how. But I'm just there, and I wake up. I'm like, what?
I have a dream. I haven't had it in a long time, but for a while I had a dream where I would be driving in a car, but it was so bright that I could barely see. And for some reason I couldn't slow down either.
Really?
And so I was just so scared of wrecking like the whole time. So like your eyes just squinted and it's just really bright. It's just like where you can only see white.
Wow.
Ugh, those dreams were stressful. I was always so glad when I woke up from them joints. I was like, oh, thank God that wasn't real. I was about to run off a cliff or something like that.
Wow.
That's awesome. Chris, what about you?
Chris, you got one?
I don't really remember many of my dreams, and I feel like, I mean, I know I've had nightmares in the past, but when I do remember, it's rarely a nightmare. So I don't really know. When I was younger, I used to remember my dreams all the time, the good ones.
Me
I had
too.
these awesome dreams.
Yep.
It's like, man, this is great. I can't wait to go back to sleep. And man, just as the older I got, it's just like I don't remember. Every once in a blue moon, I'll remember like the last little bit of one. Like right when I wake up, I'm like, oh, that was awesome. I'm gonna try to go back to sleep, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Have you ever woken up mid dream and then go back to sleep and then your dream continues?
Yes,
No.
I have.
I've had that once or twice before, and it was pretty cool.
I've tried to, but yeah.
It was only whenever I woke up like suddenly, cause like maybe like the dog jumped up on the bed or something like that woke me, and I could instantly go back. It wasn't like if I woke up naturally. Usually, I've never had it happen there. But I did again. It was when I was younger, and I would remember my dreams more often. I had that happen pretty frequently, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. That's so funny.
What about you, Ed?
Probably my stress dream is probably I'm doing a play and I've never seen the script before.
Oh yeah, that would be your worst nightmare. Absolutely,
that would be terrible.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I've never had like the underwear in school or the teeth falling out. I've never had those, but that's my version of the stress dream.
Teeth falling out.
Yeah, apparently that's a common one.
I've never heard of that.
That's got to mean something.
No, I feel like I've had a lot of people say they've had that, and that means you're concerned about looks or you're worried about
Like they're talking to somebody in the dream and their teeth just start falling out.
I don't know, just a common stress dream is people's teeth falling out.
Wow,
Weird.
I've never had it either, but apparently
interesting.
I don't know.
Weird.
Do you guys all dream in color?
Yes.
Yes.
I dream in living. No, yeah, most of I don't remember ever having a dream where it was black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess some people have a lot of black and white dreams.
I've heard that too.
know.
Only when I dream that I live in the 1914. It's all black and white.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know that you're dreaming?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
No.
What did you ask, Ed?
Do you know that you're dreaming? Like, can you be like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then just do whatever you want?
There's been a few times in the past where I knew or I realized at some point, like, oh, I'm dreaming. I remember in the dream feeling like, oh, this is a dream. And so I would do even crazier stuff because I knew it was a dream.
I've always wanted that.
Yeah, I've never had that recognition of being in a dream. I just like I'm in it and that's it. Like I don't I'm not looking at it from like a third person perspective. Like I'm just going along with this and like, well, let's see where this goes, and not knowing that if it's a dream or not.
Well, like when I had it, it wasn't so much that I was like, oh, I know in this moment this is a dream, so I'm going to do all kinds of like I'm going to turn this thing into that, and I'm going to be able to fly around. It was more I would have like maybe a crazy superpower, like maybe I could fly or something. And I remember thinking and it always happened towards the end of the dream, so like not very much time was left in it. But I would remember thinking, man, this is that I have this ability or I can do this thing, whatever it was, because like sometimes maybe I could run real fast or be invisible or I don't know what it was. And I would think, this is almost like a dream. And then shortly after that, I would end up waking up. So it was almost like I thought it, but I didn't really think it was legit. It was more like just a thing I said, but turns out I actually was in a dream.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, got it. All right, next week we'll do a sleep study. How about that?
Right. If we have any psychiatrists listening to the podcast, please send us your interpretations.
Hook us up. All right, Robert Darrell Good Jr. After last week's story about the guy posed in a chair playing 2K at his wake, I'm curious. How do you guys want to be sent off? I think I really want to go like a Viking. Just lay me on a boat on top of a lot of kindling with my sword. Push it out in the middle of a lake or something and shoot flaming arrows at it from the shore. I think that'd be pretty sweet. And to make sure I literally go out with a bang, fireworks could be stuffed in there somewhere. That is perfect.
Jeez.
I love
Stuffed
that.
in there.
Stuffed in there somewhere. Well, why not, man? You're dead. You wouldn't know.
Exactly. My mom always said she wanted to be cremated and sprinkled over the Golden Gate Bridge, like into the water.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think I want the same thing.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Chris?
I don't honestly. I haven't thought too much about it. I always just assumed I'd probably say do cremation only because for the people dealing with it, that's going to be way cheaper and easier for them to do. But I don't have any kind of and I want my ashes across the. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have anything in particular, really.
Yeah.
No,
I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually right there. I'm right there with you, Chris. Just burn me up and throw me in an urn somewhere. And if you want to take me along with you, I'm totally there for the ride. It's awesome. I don't need to go. I don't need my ashes spread anywhere. So
yeah, I don't want any urns or anything like that. Just move on.
No, I don't mind. I'm
that. I'm partying.
You're partying. I like to party, man.
Ed.
Yeah, cremate me and then throw my ashes in the face of the makers of Danger Zone 2.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well played.
Jeez. That's funny.
Nice. All right, last question. Mike Doherty, have you ever considered giving up this hobby? I've seriously considered it after The Last of Us 2 drops. Life's just busy now, and I joyfully give up my time for my family, but it just doesn't leave much time for me. Pfft, who am I kidding? Minus sleep plus coffee equals winning. That's awesome. Nice. That's awesome.
What about you, Tim?
No, man, I freaking love this, and the fact that I get up early to make time for this, and that way it doesn't interfere with family time. I gladly sacrifice that time to enjoy something that brings me a lot of joy, gives me some creativity, and is so interactive and so much fun, man. I can't imagine it.
Chris?
I've not thought about stopping, but I have thought about as games are continuing to get bigger and longer or open world games take many hours to do, I have thought about, at some point it's probably going to get to where I'm just going to have to devote to less games because as my time gets shorter of when I have the free time to play them. Because if I, for instance, with Far Cry 5, I had the luxury at the time that it dropped that I had a bunch of free time and I could kind of blast through it to some extent. But if I were playing it right now, I would have so little amounts of time to play it. I would be doing Router and just a little bit here and there, and it would draw it so far out that I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to play 30 games in a year or whatever. I'm just going to have to pick and choose more strategically. And so I think inevitably there's going to be games where it's even though that game looks great and I bet it's awesome, I'm going to have to skip it because I can only choose. I only have time for so much,
Yeah.
That's it. That's an interesting point because I kind of do that anyway, because I pick the games that I know I want to play, and most of them are super long. And I played Shadow of War for a long time. Then I went into Assassin's Creed Origins when it was 4 months out already, and I didn't have a problem with that. But I think you're right. These games are so huge that I think a lot of these smaller games might get overshadowed by that, or people are just going to be like, oh, I might just not even worry about it. Yeah. It could go either way. It could go that a lot of people won't play these big games and they'll start playing smaller indie games, or people do like all the big games and want to do that. So
one other way that I've thought about it, that's another possibility, rather than maybe it's not that I play less games, but I allow myself to be okay. And for the most part, I'm kind of there already, but I allow myself to just be cool with, hey, I played 3/4 of this game or half of it, and I'm okay walking away from it there, even though I'm enjoying
there you
it.
Go.
I did that with Bloodborne. That was the first game where I played it. I really enjoyed it. I did not finish it at all, but I have great fond memories of that game, even though I never beat it. I don't feel bad or any of that kind of stuff, and I had a really good time with it. So,
Ed?
Nah, never thought about it. I've definitely cut back, but not because of a conscious decision, just because of life. But I've never considered stopping it. I mean, if something happened where I felt it was interfering with life or a relationship or something, I definitely would. But so far, it's been cool.
Well, I mean, I call you almost every day, and you just can't answer your phone because you're streaming. So I think you need to make some decisions there, Ed.
That's right.
I mean, hush.
Priorities, right? Priorities.
I'm not important.
That's always that callback button, baby. That's all they call back.
I think that's the big difference for us. I think we're all very responsible gamers. We recognize when the right time to game is, and we're very conscious about it. And there's a lot of people that aren't, and I get that. But that's what I kind of love about this. And our community's kind of the same way too. We're always looking at family first, and but we still play games, and we'll make time for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I've never thought about laying it down, like, not even for a second. But I definitely do prioritize, you know what I'm saying? It's God and family, and then, everything else falls in where it can. But yeah, I'm all about gaming. I mean, I've done it my whole life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you
it's
have.
Like, why stop doing it now?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, I can't do it 24/7, obviously, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't, just like Tim was saying. So
Yep.
Right.
Ed said he gets his work done before everybody's awake. It's just you just a couple hours push back.
Right.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I haven't even thought about putting it down.
Yeah.
No, man. Married to the games, baby. That's how it is. Thank you, Mike, for that. And thank you, everybody, for the last minute question call out. And for all of your questions, we really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and congratulations one more time to B-Dog for the decision to go back to school and work on the Masters.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. That's a great thing.
That's really cool.
That is a good
really
thing to
cool.
do. Yep.
The question of the week for you guys is a repeat. We've had this question before, but I thought I'd get some more answers out of you guys because last week I put it on Twitter. I bought the Shenmue record that Data Discs made. They took the Shenmue soundtrack and put it on vinyl, and it's on this really cool blue translucent vinyl. And so I got that, and it's coming. It just told me it shipped today.
Nice.
So that was great. When I was at dinner away from this place, I was downloading all my emails and looking at them real quick, and it said it shipped. So I was super excited about that. So
nice.
The question for you guys is, what's your favorite video game soundtrack? We've asked before, we're asking it again. Favorite video game soundtrack. It's tough. I'll start to give you guys a second to think. I really do love the Shenmue soundtrack. It brings back so many memories. And it kind of like just warps me back to when I played it the first time. Probably followed by, I don't know why, but like Chris was saying, I love the Mike Tyson's Punch Out music.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I love Excite Bike for some strange reason.
Nice.
Like,
There you go.
just those songs just kind of stir up stuff in me.
Mm.
Ed?
If you're going score, I'm going with the Overwatch. If you're going with soundtrack and songs, I'll go with Mafia 3.
Oh, you took mine too,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, Mafia 3 was great. I would say like soundtrack, Mafia 3 for me, and Last of Us as well. I love
nice.
that kind of grungy, gritty, kind of root style music. It was really, really cool. But yeah, Mafia 3, man, they had some bangers in that.
Yeah,
it was
they did.
so
Yep.
good. I found myself driving just to listen to the radio.
Yes,
it was
same.
so great.
Like,
it was
yes,
so
Chuck Berry
great.
again. Woohoo!
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, exactly.
I got to give an honorable shout out to Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Mhm.
There you go.
Just
Yeah.
because I feel like so many of those songs made it into my life to where I wouldn't found those songs and bought them and put them on a disc and would listen to them in the car.
That's awesome.
So many bands I'd never heard of. Chris?
So I'm just gonna cheat because I don't have a single favorite. I like so many different soundtracks. I really like the Punch Out one, like we mentioned earlier. I love the Last of Us soundtrack. I listen to that. I love like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had a great one. Vice City had a great one. Actually, speaking of, you were talking about Far Cry earlier. They've got soundtracks for all of the songs, like when you drive around in the country on the radio, and they have like they sound like gospel songs, but they're talking about Joseph
Yeah,
Seaworth.
that's true.
They have that whole album on Spotify, and I'll listen to that album. It's really good.
Oh, that's
and they have
good.
other songs as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to so many. There was a bunch of really good songs in Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear's soundtrack, I love the music that just takes me back whenever I hear that opening tunes. There's so many video game soundtracks I really love. I really like the stuff in God of War as well. There was some really cool stuff in there.
Oh, yeah, there
So,
was.
I like a lot of them.
There you go.
Overwatch too,
I like
man.
that.
Overwatch is so good. Oh, that music.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is really good. So let us know what you guys' favorite video game soundtrack is. Can't wait to read the answers. It's probably going to zoom a bunch of us back to be like, oh, yeah, that one was so good. Mm-hmm. Me and Jeff Swan rode around listening to Jet Set Radio when we hung out in Ohio one time, and that was awesome to go back and listen to that stuff. So let us know. Use #AnswerMTTG, and we will talk about it next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you to my co-hosts for moving this to Tuesday night because we have just a crazy week. Thank you to Sprint for holding up with me on the internet side of things.
Hallelujah. We made it.
Yes. Thank you to Ed for editing this week. Mm-hmm. So it's a team effort, man. That's what this is all about. It's a team effort.
Yeah, it is.
Team effort. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Bang!